Do you know why I say that? Let's go live and direct from Network 23. It's the beginning of Max Headroom.
Oh, is it? That's how it started.
Live and direct. Edison Carter on. No, it was the ABC version was just a cool cyberpunk music. But his Anyway, who cares about that? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
What were we doing yesterday?
Well, we were seeing the very first available showing of Thunderbolts. Not the Fan Fest, but the first available showing.
Right, which was actually better because that was like seeing that movie with 20 of our friends, right? It wasn't packed.
It wasn't packed, but when I looked at it's funny because I don't know, like I looked at the 10 o'clock that we normally do. Like I normally get like one that's always pretty late.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at the later viewings, they were packed. Like you couldn't get a ticket. So that was the one day. That's why I was like the one day I was like, hey, if I'm going to buy the tickets, I'm going to buy them right now because it was like I had them holding, and then as soon as I gave them free, I went back and looked, and they were all taken. So
fantastic.
But yeah, I was happy we went to that viewing of it.
Like Walker said yesterday, like he didn't care because it wasn't a coin. He loves those coins, man.
Which reminds me, the one thing I didn't do before I jumped on here was check what the Thunderbolt Fan Fest fan gift thing was.
Wasn't it like a keychain or something?
They said a keychain, but
good old Mark Fens here. Check this out, gentlemen.
There you go.
If that is your real name.
Love
it. Yeah, so Thunderbolts. Should we just, I don't know. I feel bad about just talking about it. But I did say, it's like we're going to talk about Thunderbolts. And
we're going to talk about it.
We are known people to talk about things.
Listen,
whether people have seen it or not.
As I was talking to someone at work today, like, listen, I want to talk about it, so I immediately go see it. Oh, okay. The keychain's pretty cool. Damn. All right, hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm
fine because look, Mark's like, glad you like Thunderbolts. I dug the hell out of it. And Sag says, I've seen it. So that's it. Let's just talk about what we love.
Hold on.
Everything. We got the keychain. Cool. So
it's like a challenge coin.
It's a coin, but it's on a keychain.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I won't order 5 then. Okay.
Great. This experience is an optional opt-in. If you don't want to hear about it, watch it later. That's how I feel about spoilers. Like, I don't understand why everybody goes, spoilers, because when I was a kid, I lived in rural Vermont, and I wanted to see Logan's Run really badly. And I knew that it had come out in the summer because of Starlog, and it did not come to rural Vermont. A print did not come to rural Vermont until a double feature with Burnt Offerings. The theater owners were trying to burn with those two things in November. So I had to go see Burnt Offerings just to watch Logan's Run.
Wait, who's in Burnt Offerings?
I don't know. It's some fucking Omen-esque kind of ripoff thing.
Yeah.
So I don't like horror movies, and I liked them less when I was 14.
Oliver Reed. I knew it was and Betty Davis, but that's not here nor there. But yes, I was like, what? I know that movie, but yeah, I hear you.
So speaking of this, Sag's got a great point. You're the only one that knows you've been spoiled, so why share that with the rest of the planet? Because the rest of the planet doesn't give a shit. You know, it's like that Mark Hughes guy in Forbes, right? I posted some funny thing a week after it came out, and he got all mad about spoilers. I'm like, dude, you're a professional critic for a major magazine. Like, what is the fucking matter with you? Why would you lose your mind so hard? But what it was he blocks me, of course. But what it was all my jackass friends making fun of him. You know. And so once there's a certain kind of person that once 20 people start telling you you're an idiot for no reason that you can articulately defend, you know, Of course you're going to get mad. But so I think that's funny. But it's like, I don't understand why adults have problems with spoilers. I just don't.
Well, it's because you could simply avoid them.
Right, exactly.
It's not like you're a kid.
Exactly.
It's not like you're a kid and you have no control over anything. It's like this. It's the simplest act of just like, oh, I'll avoid the internet today. You know, and I mean, I guess because we're old enough to have experienced not the internet,
Self-control.
well, that and also like not the internet, where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, if I just went outside and walked around, I'm pretty sure
Right.
there's not going to be a guy randomly on a corner with like a sign that says the
Right.
ending of Thunderbolts. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I do. But what makes me laugh about Forbes is that half the time it's people that have already seen it and are still
Right.
mad that you're spoiling it for other people. It's like, come on, man. Like, I'm going to share my enthusiasm. For example, Lewis Pullman was great.
Awesome.
Everybody is pointing at Florence Pugh and saying she's amazing. It's like, yeah, but like I saw Hawkeye and she crushed a stupid nothing scene in an elevator. You know what I mean? She
Right.
made mac and cheese sound awesome. So Florence Pugh acting her little heart out isn't the big shock to me. And honestly, Lewis Pullman isn't either, because you know who his dad is, right?
Yeah, well, yes, it's Bill Pullman. So.
Bill Pullman. So obviously, like Walker Young, he's going to be cool because he has a cool dad.
Okay, ready? Do you remember we were at Comic-Con about 2 years ago, and Steve Yeun was supposed to be that role?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the kid.
I do remember that.
And I don't remember why he didn't do it, but I think it was right after he was like, right, he gets killed in Walking Dead. Sorry, another spoiler. But like he gets killed in Walking Dead, and I feel like right after it, he was like, what are they going to do with him? And then I thought it was talk that he was going to be in it. So it's very interesting because I honestly, I think Lewis Pullman was spectacular in it.
He was perfect. I get thinking Stephen Yeun at first.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a Jay Lee drawing already.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah.
But if you go in the more, you know, I just was really impressed that in fact, I thought Mark was going to make fun of me because every once in a while I come out with something during one of the films. Like when we saw Battle Angel Alita, he just thought it was hilarious when she goes on the Moon War thing, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like funny. 30 seconds of it. Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. That's how I felt when I saw Sentry show up in the comic accurate suit.
Oh, that was cool.
I just laughed because I was like, holy crap, they made that thing actually looks like it made sense.
Yeah.
You know, they sort of warmed me up with Elaine from Seinfeld walking around with his belt buckle.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, they're keeping at least that much of the original outfit. So that's cool. And then they just gave him the, you know, MCU neoprene in the right colors. And I was like, I can't believe this works.
Listen, as we were watching that movie about 10 minutes into it, I lean over to Mark and I am just like, this is already like one of the better Marvel movies I've seen in 10 years.
Yeah. It's definitely a return to form. Walker and I were talking on the way back about those 6 movies of Phase 4. When you just look at the titles, you don't even, oh, hey, what's going on over there?
Yep, she just got home from school. So she was stopping.
Hello. Volleyball or whatever you're doing.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to see it. Okay, I'll come chat with you in a minute. In a little bit. Okay, I know. All right. Love you, kiddo. Talk to you in a bit. Sorry about that.
No worries. I always think of the hilarious things on the news when everyone was getting used to Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
And there'd be like the one I loved was a woman was doing like a Pilates instructional thing, and her husband's some kind of power lifter and just walked by behind her on the way to the shower wearing nothing because
oh god,
he had finished his workout. Everybody kind of like, you know,
yeah.
No, everybody was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But then like the next day they were on the Today Show.
Yeah, exactly.
And the guy was like so cool. He's like, you know, obviously I didn't mean to do that. And I think everybody kind of, you know, just understands that sometimes mistakes happen.
Yeah.
I just got a free ticket to New York to tell all you guys, like, sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
And I was like, oh, so that's what I think every time that something like that happens. It's like,
sorry to break the roll, but yeah. Anyway, so like as I was saying, like
Anyway,
what I like 10 minutes in, like you just said, it just like that movie was so damn good.
this right here.
Yeah, you know what? It had that. Yeah, go on.
Walker and I, when we got into the car and we're driving, we're kind of, getting onto the road. I go, man, I love hanging out with you and Mark and Steve, but because it's this MCU tradition. But like, we really could have saved some money if we got a ticket for Mommy. And he goes, first of all, Mommy loves that we go do this on ourselves and likes to have 3 hours to herself to watch The Crown or whatever.
Right.
And second of all, like, she has fun going to see it with us.
Right.
So we go home and we're like bouncing around. He's wearing the popcorn bucket.
Right.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I wonder how fast it's going to get to Disney Plus. And both of us went, no, we're going tomorrow.
No, right. You're going to go tomorrow? You're going to go?
Oh, we can't. It's prom tomorrow. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You'll have to share me a picture of what the young man looks like. So.
You remember last year he had a Kingsman suit?
Yes.
So he's doing that with bigger pants.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
He grew a little more stout, not fat or anything, right?
Yeah.
He's a year older, so
yeah, I get it.
He got a little thicker in the torso.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Oh, prom. Everyone's got to go to the prom, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
but,
they're doing it awesome, like because. Him and his buddies, the guys who had girlfriends, they all broke up like around the same time because all the girls and some of the guys, they all went, well, we're going to high school. I mean, we're going to college in like 4 months. And,
unless you're going to
have fun.
Right. Yeah. Unless you're going to the same college, like why is, yeah.
Yeah. So they're all going together. They're all going, but not as dates. So they're all going to Battery Godfrey. That stuff, the World War II stuff at the base of the Golden Gate. They're going there around the golden hour to take pictures.
Very cool.
And then skidding over to Mel's Diner.
Wait, is that today?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And going to Mel's.
Yep, love Mel's.
And then going to wherever the prom is. I think.
Yeah, that's sick. Did they do a limo or did they just drive?
No, everybody's just driving around.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. Walker's buddy Diego is driving.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Diego. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Well, they'll have a good time. All right. Yeah. I'll next time I see him, I'll ask for the details.
Yeah. Get the deets.
Yeah. Here we go. Ready? Here. Best description was like a lesser.
I actually think it was better than Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was gonna say, you know what it was? I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about this as I was driving home, and I was like, do I like this better than the last Guardians of the Galaxy? And I think the last Guardians of the Galaxy was more of James Gunn saying, I'm out. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna do what I'm doing and I'm out. Whereas this Thunderbolt movie felt more like no, I'm gonna this is the Marvel movie that everyone loves. Like these are the Marvel, you know what I mean? And not that Guardians of the Galaxy the 3 wasn't a bad movie. I actually think it's a wonderful movie. But I just felt like this was the first one where, like I said, 10 minutes into it, I'm just like, this already has more feeling in it than sadly the Captain America movie, which I also saw. But it's just the Captain America movie played like a TV show. And I said to you there, I think this was the first one I felt like Feig had his full thumb on everything.
Well, that's what Walker and I brought up the 6 movies of Phase 4. It's like Shang-Chi, Black Widow. You know what they are.
Yeah.
The tone of those movies are all over the place.
Yes.
And so this one seemed like you said, Feig just grabbed all the reins and went, okay, this is the tone that we're going to have going forward. It's going to be the difference between the Guardians films. I could tell you what happened in the Thunderbolts movie pretty straightforwardly, right? There's the introduction, there's the Bob and that stuff, and then what it means, and then the reversal at the end. Right. I could tell you not just because I saw it last night, but because it's not a complex story.
Correct.
Like all of the Guardians, the first Guardian's impressive is because it's very complex, but also you can follow it.
Yes, it's
right?
simple. It's simple. Yes, exactly.
But by the second one and third one, there's so much aggregate stuff that you have to keep track of that I can tell you the tone of the third one, right?
Yes.
And I can tell you everybody had, you know, like you said, it was James Gunn saying goodbye.
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to do a movie centered on my favorite character and why.
Right.
And then I'm going to set it up for the next guys to do what they want.
Right. Like I'm gonna do exactly. I'm gonna feature my favorite. I'll give you closure on who you need closure on.
Right.
I'll leave it open ended for people to keep it open ended. But my story's done.
Right. Exactly.
By Marvel.
Right.
So, but no. So
then it turned out that's what happened, right?
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I went down a rabbit hole last night while I was sick, and Eric Pearson, the guy who wrote this.
Oh, okay. You checked out the writers.
So he enrolled in Marvel Studios' screenwriting program in 2010.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah. So he did all of the Marvel one-shot movies, like The Consultant and like 40. So he wrote all those.
That's amazing.
Okay, right?
Love it. Love you, Eric Pearson. New favorite guy.
By the end of this, I just want you, I'm going to start right here and I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, when we're in San Diego Comic-Con, I don't want to meet Kevin Feige. I want to meet Eric Pearson.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, but
I don't want to meet actors. I want to shake that guy's hand.
Okay, so ready? He gets brought on to rewrite Ant-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Pacific Rim Uprising, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania. So those are he is brought in just to help rewrite it.
Yeah, is he punching it up or
Yes.
actually rewriting everything?
All right. That's what it's credited on Wikipedia. Now I'm going to share with you what he's actually written.
Oh, okay.
He wrote Agent Carter,
Okay.
Thor Ragnarok,
Uh,
Godzilla versus Kong. He co-writes the screenplay for that.
okay.
Black Widow, Transformers 1, which is actually pretty solid. It's the cartoon one.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts, and he also co-wrote the Fantastic Four First Steps.
All right. This is my new favorite guy. I love this
Okay,
guy.
and here's the best part about it. He's the person that they just gave Blade to and said, fix this.
Well, that's cool. I'm not a giant Blade fan, but that'll make people happy.
Yes.
He's the guy though, man. That's cool.
I think it's like I finally found the guy who understands like the secret sauce. Like he's Feige's secret sauce.
One of us.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. I guess that's what you have to do, man. Like if you're in a company for 15 years,
yes.
I think that's amazing that guys like us, like I didn't keep track. I thought all the one shots were Louis Esposito.
Yeah, no, he's credited with a majority of them.
Like
now,
the fact it took us 15 years to go, who's this guy?
Right.
That's an accomplishment that he's so Marvel that it didn't speak to us. Any of those works didn't speak to us as like being off brand. But also it's so good that, if I was him, I'd be super flattered for what I'm about to say. It's like you can't tell that it's not a Marvel movie.
Well, that's right. I'm like everything I mentioned, and here's the craziest part: why I wrote down those other ones. Pacific Rim Uprising felt like a
Marvel movie.
A Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu is like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus
King Kong, yeah,
is like a Marvel movie, and I'm
not a giant kaiju guy at all, so I didn't see Pacific Rim Uprising.
That's the second one. That's the
I saw the first one and whatever. But that's just me as an audience member. It's a thing I don't care about. But I love Kong Island, right? And then you put Kurt Russell in Monarch, and okay, I'll watch your fucking thing. And it's all tied together, and they're making a kaiju universe. And I don't really care, but I'm entertained by watching it, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, right on. And then I saw that Godzilla King Kong one, and King Kong's fucked up, so he's got this giant like exoskeleton
robot
hand, and I'm like, is this a Marvel movie?
Right.
So it's a thought I had, like especially the character that I forget the actor's name, but he was in Night at the Museum. He played Lancelot. The blonde-haired guy.
Oh, the guy who's like fixed the tooth. Is that the one you're thinking
Yes,
of?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the cool Hawaiian shirt guy with all the paku bead necklaces and stuff, but he's also Mr. Tech and can fix everything. And I was just like, that's a Marvel character, right?
That 100%. 100%. It's funny when, I don't know. To me, it's always funny when what the hell's that guy's name? Now I can't think of what his name is. It'll come to me.
The actor?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's great in Night at the Museum too, because they go out. He's really, one of the knights of King Arthur, and he goes to some Broadway play that has Hugh Jackman and Alice Eve, and he jumps on stage, and they're
right.
They're like fucking with him. It's like Walker loved those 3 movies and watched them over and over when he was about 7.
Those are great movies.
They're so charming. They're easy to swallow. And
is that
so then I start watching stuff, and it's like that actor was really good and kind of a nothing part.
Is Sean Levy did all of them or just the first one?
I don't know.
Huh. I think he's seeing if it gives credit. I know he did the first one. I'm wondering if he did.
He might have, because I remember seeing some press when Deadpool Wolverine was out, and they said that he had already worked with Hugh Jackman in something and had introduced him to Ryan Reynolds and said,
interesting.
You guys would really get along because you have the same sense of humor. So I'm sure it was that. That's funny.
But yeah. I mean, anyway, after I read through like everything this guy touched, and I was just like, because you're almost like, like not Ant-Man so much, but I feel like Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania is one of those movies that's like, it's insane, but there's like a little string of Marvel in it, like a little, not a lot, but a little. I guarantee that's what he comes in and does. Some
of the set design and costumes and stuff just made me think of Quantumania as like this giant Jack Kirby thing, and so I was fine. I mean, it's not one of my favorite Marvel movies, definitely lower middle, but it's mainly because all the stuff you love about Ant-Man is not in that movie.
Well, I liked Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I love Ragnarok. I don't know why people don't like that one. I think it's great. I even like Love and Thunder. I mean, people get all sad, like, oh, it's not what Thor should be. And I'm like, no, but that's what Thor is now, and that's fine.
Yeah, like, the problem, I didn't mind it. The problem is the Jason Aaron, who the Natalie Portman character Thor comic. I think I told you this at San Diego Comic-Con. That Thor run where Jane Foster becomes Thor, that there is 16 issues of like the best Marvel comic that I had read in like 30 years. Like,
wow, honestly, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's honestly like, I mean, of course the premise is she's like dying of cancer, but she's Thor, and it's like there's no way you make this movie, because one, you could if you just gave it to Jane Foster. So the fact that you had to like squeeze that storyline into a Chris Hemsworth Thor movie is sad, because the comic is just fucking unbelievable.
The whole story would support a whole movie on its own.
Easily. Like, honestly, like if they did it right, like that's like, I don't know, I compare it to like what's that super famous Iron Man run where like with the drink,
Demon in a Bottle.
Like, so if you just made a movie about that, that's when you're really talking like, okay, and you have like Natalie Portman or Robert Downey Jr., like that's when you're getting like Marvel movies nominated for Academy Awards. Do you know what I mean? Because anyway,
I love this. Demon beat me to it.
Yeah.
No, but look at this part. Like I totally get how Love and Thunder might shock you, but all the stuff that real serious fans just rubbed the wrong way was stuff I loved. Like Russell Crowe as fat Zeus throwing shit around. Like People are like, what's he doing in a skirt? I'm like, oh man, we're watching two different movies.
Well,
but I totally get how that happens because of like, I can't stand Logan. And that's 100% me.
Yes.
That's not the movie. The movie's great, but that's why I love Deadpool Wolverine, because it makes me fine with Logan now. The way it started and all that shit, I was like, oh, okay. I keep forgetting Logan's in Elseworlds. All right.
Right. Exactly.
That's
the
yeah. So,
anyway,
I old Mark Finn.
Yeah, I didn't mind loving. Like I said, I didn't mind Love and Thunder. It's just like they had the weird phase is you had to swan song your original Avengers. Like you had to give everyone like a going out to pasture kind of ending. Except Thor's the one you don't have to do that with.
Right.
So it's like okay, I get it. Chris Hemsworth's not going to look, 30 and ripped for the rest of his life. But let me tell you something. Hugh Jackman's pulling it off, man. You get these.
Yeah, I was going to say,
probably do it.
You might.
At least
it depends on how much you like cheeseburgers, I guess.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
Here's a good one. I too thought Iron Man 2 is going to be Demon in a Bottle. And I love how they did. They just did it in like 3 scenes.
Well, that's
instead of a whole movie,
right? And that's what I. It's funny I always joke like in another universe there's like 10 Iron Man movies, like they're making them every year, or like I always joke like there's some place where we're on like
with the same cast and everything.
Yeah. Like everyone you just kept on making more movies.
Well, I hope Shield is still in it and Hydra was never involved.
Yeah,
because that was my big takeaway from Thunderbolts. They went. Julia Louis-Dreyfus went, yeah, we need a shield around the planet, and I was like, what? Me of all people, I'm like, oh no, it's obviously going to be this, and then Secret Wars, and you get to pull everything back. It's like, I didn't even think. Just fucking Shield. Make Shield the super spy organization that Larry wanted this whole time, and I'll be fine. I'll probably go get tickets for the first one and get hit by a bus going into the theater. Well, probably it'll be so far in the future that somebody's screen accurate Avengers Quinjet will drop on my head by accident.
That's awesome.
Anyway. Yes. Oh God. Yes.
Funny. So do we talk? All right. So here's my 2 questions about the.
Yes.
Well, I would say 2 questions I have about the movie. So again, like we're not saying spoilers, but
well, Chris and Mark, I think, are the only ones here, and if anybody comes to it later, they're gonna have seen the movie.
Yeah. So they're fighting over the trademark of the Avengers with Falcon
at the end, yeah.
Which I'm like, so is it implying that Bucky and Falcon and Cap are not cool? Because
he said kind of, right? Because he said, I had a talk with him, and they go, how'd it go? And he goes, not well,
right? Yeah.
So I mean, they can go anywhere, right? Because what they were talking about was that specific part of the thing that you can't call yourselves the New Avengers,
right? Because
that means something to the Avengers, all right? And so I get that, and that's what I love about the asterisk and how they did it, and the New Avengers and Bob will return, because the next one's going to just be Thunderbolts 2 or whatever.
Correct.
There's no way that the New Avengers are, if they use that at all, it's going to be after Battleworld with Amadeus Cho and Hawkeye and all that nonsense.
Yes, it'll be the whole new. Yes, it'll be all the new casted people.
And I just love that, like, regular fans are like, no, they changed their name. They have new logos and everything. I'm like, yeah, but Red Guardian was dressed like Captain Amazing and Mystery Man. Do you think that's really gonna be everybody's uniform? Like, really? Orangutan? Anyway.
Listen, I have to see it again. It was awesome.
Yes.
It was awesome. It was.
I love Valentina And I really wish they would just drop that she used to date Nick Fury. I wish they would just drop that, because that's where that character came from, the Contessa, right?
Yeah.
And so I would just love that, because she's like sketchy as shit. And who's the only guy that she wants to hang out with? Oh, the guy that keeps all the secrets.
Right.
I would just love like some scene, some nothing scene where like she's doing something and the phone rings and there's like Marvel problems and we need everybody, and then just like, oh, Samuel L. Jackson sits up in bed next to her. I would love that.
Does he have any more Marvel movies on his contract?
Oh, I'm sure he's renegotiating all the time, right? His first one was 9 movies, and he burned that a long time ago. You know, and so he's probably just with what was it, Secret Invasion? He had to have signed something new for that. And then, hey, speaking of that, did you hear the Jeremy Renner Hawkeye season 2 news that came out?
Like that they didn't do a season 2
because
they
offered him half. What did they think was going to happen? No, thank you.
Well, so here's the interesting part.
love he said, hey, did you offer me half because you think I'm only going to be half there because I got run over by a truck?
Well, so I
thought that was awesome.
So here's the crazy part. I'm wondering if it's one of those things where Marvel, I understand like Disney's like undercut him on the offer, but I'm wondering how a Disney Plus show gets residuals paid. So I'm wondering if he would have took the less money to get again, it's a Disney Plus thing. Like, would he have made it all in the long run through like it being it's tough to say, right?
I'm sure that's why they did that, though. It's like this is going to be a TV show,
right?
Like, I'm sure that in the movies he's going to be showing up in films,
right?
Because that's a separate thing.
Yes.
And then they're like, okay, we can do another season. I mean, people are going to seem to like it, but like, you got to take half the money.
Well, that was my initial thought.
So like, that's the fuck you thing, right?
Right.
Like, it's like, we'll do it if you do it for this, or I'll sell it to you that if you pay this dumb price, the opposite way, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, but so they were just willing to do it if he wanted to do it for half. That's all.
Right. And it's kind of like, if you think about it, like, okay, season 1, we got you as the big star to be in this. So we're paying you the movie salary to do this TV show to get it going. Now, we kind of will do it again, but we're not paying you the movie salary because the hurdle isn't the same hurdle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do know exactly what you mean, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
You know, that I mean, I don't know. He said that it was to do the same amount of work, but if I was Disney, I would just give it to the girl and have him.
Well, so that's what I'm
like Stick or Yoda or whatever.
Well, it's kind of like,
so that's half the work, not the whole work.
Are they still doing another season of Moon Knight?
I don't know. I hope so. I'd love to Moon Knight.
But I was like, yeah, I got to do some. I got to do some.
I want to see. Here's what I want to see: a TV show that's Moon Knight, Man Thing, Ghost Rider, and some fourth guy that for the kids.
Well, it would be Blade, but you're kind of almost doing Midnight Suns. But yeah,
okay.
Or like Punisher.
Yeah, give me that. Or Punisher's the mom of those other 3 characters. Oh, dude, I almost want to write that now, or tell Walker this. And
you should write it.
Can I tell you what that kid of mine did? So I had this napkin in my office from like 20 years ago where Derek Robertson came over and drew this funny thing. And we were rapping about like if I forget how this came up, but it was called Big Don's Meat Company. And Derek drew this like sort of Boss Hogg looking guy with like, you know, less overt, you know, grossness. Just he's a stout guy with a cowboy hat.
Love it.
And he's like, this is the decal on the side of his meat trucks, and it says Big Don's Meat Company. So I tell this to Walker, I show him the napkin. He's like, oh, cool. Ham sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, knuckle sandwiches. We got it all. And I'm like, fuck you, man. That's what's going to go on the bottom of this decal on the side of the truck. Right. And this kid just goes, I got it. And today he like sat in some class instead of doing what he's supposed to be doing because he's graduating in 2 months.
Right.
1 month. He wrote the whole thing. It's basically The Godfather, except instead of the mob, it's like guys controlling stakes, and instead of Don Corleone and Michael Corleone, it's basically the same character. It's a guy it's Michael Corleone afterward. He ends up in control of this giant thing that he had nothing to do.
intention of being even.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I mean, how do you do this? Like, it took me 25 years to be able to like sit down and do that. And it's got to be quiet, and I got to have like the lighting just right. And if the guy farts next door, it's over. I might as well go grocery shopping. You're just sitting in class going, oh yeah.
Right, with all the background noise and everything.
Yeah,
he's talented, man. He's impressive.
He's gonna do something cool.
Speaking of future Hollywood icon Walker, what is he bringing to San Diego this year?
Well, we're gonna have knock on wood. We're gonna Manny's completing the stuff that was in progress last year, and so we're gonna have all of those collected and the Cowboys. I'm actually looking at the first 3 pages right here.
Nice.
The Cowboys did his vampires one that you knew was coming eventually.
Yes,
and it's fantastic. Super dense. Like the second page has 7 panels on it, and it's a conversation in the car that turns into action. And those guys are pros. When I read his script, I'm like, I don't know, man. That's a lot to ask for on page 2. You know what that kid said? The Cowboys can handle it.
Like, which is true. Yes,
that's the attitude you have to have as a writer, right?
Right. Do it.
Here's what I want. If it doesn't work, the artist will figure it out in post, right?
That's amazing. That's awesome.
But they did. They gave him everything he wanted, plus a little more.
Oh, that's awesome. Those guys are
sound effects. Yeah, so that's going to be a whole thing. And I swear to God, I don't know what we're going to call it. I really, really wanted to call it Jack Fry fucking volume 1.
Right.
But you can't do that.
Right.
And so because as perfect as that is, you don't know how perfect a title that is until after you've read those 3 stories, right?
Well, exactly.
So it just looks crass.
Right.
I kind of know you want to put it on the back, but
it's a great sticker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I'm sorry you said that. I know what you mean so much.
Yeah.
Now I'll make those personal stickers for the cool people.
Right. It's the phrase that's on a sticker or the hat that we that you give away.
Right,
but to your point, it's not the title of the book.
Like those little stickers I did for the loose cannon thing last year. I'll just make a sticker about that big that just says
that's perfect. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, that's it. That's all we got to do.
That's all we got. And
you got your book coming.
Speaking
of fucking volume 2s.
I owe you one more. One or two. I don't know. I'm going to try to do 2 more reviews. I think.
Yeah, 2 more.
I don't know. Do you think I have time?
Yeah, you totally have time. I don't know. I thought I looked at the page count. What did I tell you? You needed 6 altogether.
Did you tell me I needed 6? I don't remember.
So volume 1's 48 pages.
Okay.
And so after we get off, I'll go and I thought I looked at the page count, but I don't remember what it is.
I should try to at least make 48.
If you do another 48, then later next year you'll have the collected. Yes, 96 pages, right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I want to do.
I'm thinking about your cover because what do you want to use?
Well, I think I want to use that picture I sent you of me sitting in front of the TV.
Oh yeah, do you have that nice in print quality?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I'll do my due diligence to find it.
Send me that pic and I'll do it.
But yeah, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 stories, 10 that I wrote.
Okay.
And I have 2 more that I'm trying to finish.
So did you have 12 the last time?
You know, I let's see.
Look at this, us doing business on a.
Yeah. Well, hey, whatever, right?
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. You did 17 in this book.
Oh my God. What was wrong with me?
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I think I'm
48 pages.
So. And I think I might have I think now I'm writing a little more too. So
okay, good.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, not that everyone needs to listen to this crap. So
it's how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want to do? How about that picture? Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I'm glad we chatted about Thunderbolts because that movie is friggin' amazing. And
I love the John Walker character. Man, I love those characters.
Harbor is just
he's perfect.
Perfect. There's no other word to describe it.
When we got home last night, I was putting on my pajamas and I was yelling down the hallway to Walker, and I was talking in my dumb Russian accent, right? He's going, "No, David Harbour was very good." I can't do it now, but and I talked like that for a couple minutes. Like I would just answer questions like with a dumb accent, and finally Walker said something and snapped me out of it, and I went, "Yeah, hey, thanks for that. I would have kept talking all night like that." And he goes, "That's why I said what I said."
Yeah.
Like, wow, he's got the secret key for dealing with me.
He is Harbor is such an underrated actor that it's just like when they got him in the Black Widow movie, I was like, huh. But man, he is just
he's great.
Like he's the best Hellboy, and I think
agree.
he's.
I agree.
Right. So
you don't have to whisper that. He's
right.
The fucking best Hellboy, and it's not like we don't love the original Ron.
Yes, I agree. Yes,
we love him.
There was a meme I saw last night that every person who's played Hellboy has been a character in a Marvel movie. So like Ron Perlman is a bad guy in Blade 2.
Okay.
Harbor is obviously Red Guardian, and in the Hellboy Crooked Man, the guy who plays Hellboy, he's one of the villains in I think like Deadpool, in Deadpool 3 or something like that.
Huh.
I don't know the actor, but he's in a Deadpool movie, and I'm like, that's pretty crazy. Everyone who's played Hellboy has been in the Marvel movie.
Look at this. Mark and Chris got a good thing going on. Any issues with the character death? Absolutely not. How about you?
No, me? Yeah. No, I mean, we talked about it. I said it made total sense in the storyline. It was, you had to do something significant at that point in the movie to get them to stop. Because you got to remember, they're all hitmen. They're like money. They're no hitmen for hire. They're just going to kill whoever they have to kill. They don't care.
The bit I liked is that, as story-wise, it raises the stakes.
Correct.
Even though it's a Marvel movie and everybody's, got a 4-picture deal at least.
Right.
They still, in the story, if you're kind of just coming to it, watching it as a movie, you're like, oh, dang, they killed one of the main guys.
Right.
But nobody liked that character.
Well, they also had her in a mask and a scarred face. So it's not like you were going to show her without her mask the entire time. Whereas you had two characters that kind of sat in the same place. You had Ghost and Taskmaster.
Yeah.
And Ghost, you could take her mask off and there's a personality behind it. Taskmaster, you couldn't. So
the other thing is, like, that wasn't Taskmaster.
Well, right.
So they're correcting an error. Let's kill that. And hey, there's a dude Taskmaster in Secret Wars.
Right.
Right. From that universe, if you really give a shit.
Right.
And this one, what about the Agatha psych out? Do you feel there was a psych out about Agatha? I didn't catch that.
I don't know if I caught that.
Yeah. But Chris did, because he goes, that was odd. I don't know.
Maybe
she's on the poster?
What?
Huh.
Am I missing something?
I don't know. That's what he
said. The fact that
Taskmaster's on
the poster?
Yeah, no, I mean, oh no, it says she's on the poster, but not in the movie. I'm like, is she? I don't think I saw a poster with her on it.
Yeah,
maybe they did. That's hilarious.
Huh. Well, smart on their part to just kind of throw people.
Yeah, I wonder if Marcus the group shot that everybody thought had some like CG on it. Because that might have, I don't know.
Oh,
that group shot one was weird. It's not the Wheaties poster. Okay. Huh. Well, why don't you say something and I'll look and see about that.
Yeah, I'm looking as well. So there's I know the Wheaties one. And I know the orange background. Her face is scrunched into the lower left corner. What?
Her face is scrunched into the lower left corner.
That might be
That's Bob, I thought. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because there's
Anyway.
the movie poster.
Yeah, I mean,
that's Bob. Where the gun is hitting. It does look.
That's Bob.
Everyone's like, yeah, that's Bob, but interesting.
So
I see what he's saying.
I don't see any Agatha though.
No, but they're saying Bob looks like
Bob
Agatha.
Looks like Agatha. Oh, I see.
Yes.
No, that's Bob.
But
that's Bob. Bob.
I mean, Bob? I think it is, but
Bob. Yeah, that's Bob. Is that Bob? It's Bob. Hi, Bob.
And the other thing, two things. The two things I said to Mark in the movies was the void, the visual of the void.
Yeah, that was cool.
So perfect.
Yeah.
It was just the black silhouette and the pinhole eyes was just so smart. Perfect. Like no complaints.
What I thought was great about that, you could still tell that was Louis Pullman.
Oh yeah,
and so like I don't know what they did, if that was CG or motion capture or what, but it was perfect. Just it's a black silhouette with little pinpoint eyes, and you could still tell that's Bo Bowman. That's insane.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was brilliant. And then what was the other thing? I just lost my train of thought. And then I was saying to Mark, like, could you imagine if you lived in New York and you lived through the blip, and then you also lived through would you ever be in New York ever again?
Like not again.
How would people live in New York after that? Like, first off, you were gone for how long, and then you come back, and then. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're there, and then all of a sudden, like, the void makes you like.
I think people that got blipped in New York, though, like, they didn't have it any worse than because everyone got blipped everywhere.
Well, sure.
So it's like, well, I got to move out of New York because this is going to happen again. It's like, all right, whatever.
Well, do you think if you lived in New York, experienced the blip, and then you come back, and then you experience the void, and then have that happen to you, do you think those two would like make you move out of New York? That might make me move out.
I think if you were there for the Battle of New York too, the Avengers.
Oh my God! Yeah, can you imagine all three?
Get all three of those. The one thing I loved about, I think it was Infinity War, when they're trying to guess where all the stones are, and then Black Widow goes, "Man, if you line it up right, there's like 3 of them are in New York in the same year." And I was like, yeah, because everything fucking takes place in New York.
Yes, yeah.
Crazy. But I thought it was cool they hung a little lantern on that.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
All right, so the next Marvel movie is Fantastic Four.
Yes.
That I
heard the Russo brothers actually did that end credits scene.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, so I wouldn't doubt that that's actually, remember they did a scene with Bucky as an end credit thing that was in Civil War.
Yes.
I think that's just because that was a pretty meaty scene. I think that's just a bit from Doomsday.
I was gonna say you think it's actually
I really
right out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I did see the photo today of. Did you see the photo today of like the cast of Doomsday all together?
No, that'll be cool.
There's a picture. I'll share it with you later. Yeah. But there's a picture of them. They just watched Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
that's cool.
Hemsworth, Robert Downey, Winston Duke, Shang-Chi. It's like a lot of them.
Yeah.
But not everyone you would immediately. Let me see if I can find it. I just saw it earlier.
Mark says he thinks that's the end of the FF movie.
Oh yeah, you think so? I mean, it could be.
That's yeah. I mean,
we talked about
why?
That.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, here you go. I'll share it.
Maybe. I mean, I just think that would work as an end credit scene for the FF, but they just burned it in Thunderbolts. So, because the Fantastic Four movie is introducing everybody, right, and then having everything come out and have Galactus destroy their world, and I mean, maybe that they're coming in.
Yeah,
at the end,
maybe.
But
I feel like
it works better in Doomsday.
I agree
because they're like, yeah, no, there's that space thing going on they won't tell us about. So it seems like maybe the FF movie has already happened and it's leaked enough that the Thunderbolts know something's up. but then they catch it, and then that's the I don't know.
Well, anyway, this picture is great because it's Thor, Gambit, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, Doom, Thing. I can't see who that
Channing
is.
Tatum, that's cool.
Winston Duke and Falcon. So it's a bunch of them. Who's the girl? I can't tell who the girl is.
It's way too small for my shitty eyesight.
Yeah, same.
But
anyway, I was like, okay, that's
did
cool.
James Marsden get a sex change? Maybe it's James Marsden. He's James Marsden now. Let's start that rumor. Vanessa Kirby, SAG access. That makes all.
It's Vanessa Kirby. Yep, you're right.
Makes all the sense.
Yeah. Which also, the one thing I will say about not Marvel movie is
this sounds right. I don't think it's inadvertent though. I think Galactus goes, oh, there's more Earths. I'll eat that one too, and then it's the FF following him.
Yeah,
trying to help.
The one thing I will say not Marvel talk about.
Mistakes. What's that?
I was going to say the one thing non-Marvel. Jesus, that Mission Impossible movie looks so good.
Awesome. Yes.
So good.
Agreed.
Like I don't. There's no like.
It makes me sad because I want Mission Impossible movies forever. I just love
it's not. It can't be the last one. It's not possible.
It's the final reckoning.
Nah, Listen, they even changed. Remember, it was part 1 and part 2, and now it's.
I'll be fine if they just do another one, and Glenn Powell's the main guy, and Ethan Hunt is the secretary that will disavow any knowledge.
Is Alec Baldwin is the Alec Baldwin character?
Yes. I can't believe they came up with that brilliance and then killed him in the same movie. That made me sad.
Maybe because Tom Cruise is like, I'll play that role now.
Well, yeah.
I just.
Mark's got fighting words. Wants that to be the last Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible is just one of those movies, though, that I would just like every 3 years. I'm happy that there's another one coming out. I just.
Me too, but not the last one, but the one before that, I was like, oh my God, this shit is all hanging together. And then the trailer where fucking what's his name? Kettrick is in it.
Oh, Kittrick, yeah.
Yeah, and they're making all this stuff like even the first couple that don't really hang together.
Well, I told you that
part of this giant thing, and I was like,
the guy who
all I ever wanted.
The guy who got sent to like Antarctica, like the one with the
yeah. We see him again.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Like he's in the trailer. Like that's like anyway. Well, I think this is probably a good segue to because I can tell it's almost 4 and I have to take medicine again. So this is
you're starting to sniffle. I really appreciate it. I know you weren't really feeling it, but that's how good Thunderbolts is, right?
Yes,
you had to tell
I had to talk about it. So awesome, man. Well, go see Thunderbolts if you haven't seen it. I'm gonna try to convince. I took the girls to go see the Captain America movie.
Oh yeah,
and they liked it. So I think I could.
Tell me, this one's better.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I said. I said this one's actually better, but they also want to see the Minecraft movie, which I haven't taken them to. So I gotta.
What I like, I told Mimi, I was like, you're gonna like this one because the women in this movie are the only ones who know what's going on.
The guys are idiots. Yes,
the guys are idiots, and the girls are just like, okay,
Valentina,
right? Elena, everybody.
All the girls are like
even Mel, the Valentina's assistant.
She's
like integral for like a third of the movie.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. Red Guardian is an idiot. U.S. Agent's an idiot. Bob's an idiot. Bucky's an idiot. Wendell Pierce is an idiot. Like every male character they introduce says something stupid. Even what's his name? Valentina's assistant.
Mel. Yeah.
No, not. I'm sorry. The military guy. Even he's an idiot.
Oh yeah. Oh, that actor, man. He played Deke Slayton in For All Mankind.
Yeah.
And I was sad to see him die again.
What's his name? He's in a ton of stuff.
Actor.
I gotta look him up because
he'd be a good boss hog sort of guy. I love Mark. I think it's weird they keep trying to kill Tom Cruise and filming it for our enjoyment. I don't. I think that's awesome. I really appreciate that he will go to literally death-defying lengths to make sure we're entertained.
Yes,
I'm completely down.
Because because Tom Cruise's vision of movies is you should see something you've never seen before, and it should be super enjoyable and exciting. And if that means he has to die doing it, that's his role.
That means I have to teach myself how to fly a space shuttle. Well, then, God damn it, that's what I'm going to do.
If I have to hang off a plane with a rope around me, I'm doing it.
That one was crazy. You're roped to the outside of a cargo plane that flies up to 3,000 feet and then comes back down, and you have to do it again, like 4 times that day. And he has to wear scleral contact lenses, which are the ones that cover the whole surface of your eye.
Okay.
Because if he gets hit by a bug, he's going to get blind.
Yeah.
Right? So he had giant golf ball caps on his actual eyes, just going, and still acting on the outside of it. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, he's nuts.
I love that guy forever. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
And the pineapple cake he sends people for Christmas. It's just amazing.
That's hysterical.
Do you know about this?
I don't.
Oh, it's a thing in Hollywood. If Tom Cruise sends you his pineapple cake, you've made it. But it was like the secret, and the story aggregated itself around it, that it was like, it's just him making these cakes for people, and of course it isn't.
Right.
And so the
white chocolate coconut.
There cake. You go. The bakery actually, like this year at Christmas, was like, hey, if you want the Tom Cruise cake, here's what he does. And they showed even the card that says, like, please enjoy the holidays. Tom Cruise. That's funny. And I'm like, yeah, just send me one of those cakes. I don't care if it's $150. I want to take a picture of that cake on my kitchen table and say I got the cake from Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. We all
not like he's signing all the cards, right?
Right. He maybe he signed one. That's funny.
Anyway.
Awesome. Well, Larry, thank you for jumping on and chatting.
Thank you too.
And I'll be interested to see prom pics. So if Walker feels
maybe he'll send you a
I might just tell him that I'm interested to hear how it goes. So
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you guys for listening to us chat, and
blessed. Thank you.
Yeah, later all.
End stream. Go room.